Today on the channel, we drop a bomb, an atom bomb with Bryan Clark bone-crushing wrestlers from Figure Collections.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another bone-crushing wrestler unboxing and review. And today on the channel, don't call him Atom Bomb, as it is Bryan Clark. But for all your wrestling figure needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. And right now, you can only get these at the old Figure Collection store. That could change in the future. We'll see what happens with this line. And of course, we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And this is, of course, Bryan Clark, who played Atom Bomb. I'm guessing Atom Bomb is still owned by the WWE. That makes sense. So he is Bryan Clark here. And, of course, as well, there is a variant of this. And we'll unbox this variant with the Blue Meanie variant in another video. And, of course, we've already unboxed the Blue Meanie figure on the channel. So check out all those. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel while you are at it. But let's take a look at the packaging, see what all the fuss is about. And there it is, old Bryan Clark looking good right there. Looks like Atom Bomb all day, even if the name isn't there. That's what I always say. Very great packaging on this. Beautiful packaging. Really brings you back to the old Bone Cruncher days, of course. You got his name there, glamour shot, big window. My only gripe really with these figures is a little not as clear of a window as I'd like. There's a little bit of fog to it. Definitely not the end of the world. Definitely not the end of the world to me, who's opening these anyways. But I did like to point that out, the fogginess there. And some might like it. I don't know. It's just me. It takes my eyes away from it for whatever reason. But you got the bone-crushing wrestlers up there. What's that? The action is back. And, of course, these do really bone crunch. Future ones will not bone crunch. And I think that's a good move. Takes a little of the cost down for them. I think that's a good move on their part. On the back, it does say collect them all. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at this point? It shows how to do the thing. You got the blurbs, all that. You got the big cross-sell as well. Cross-sell, we got Blue Meanie, Bryan Clark, Dwayne Gill, Macho Man, Sonny Ono, and Ultimo Dragon. Very excited for a lot of these here. I hope they can just turn and burn some figures a little bit faster. Nothing worse than taking 3 years to complete Series 1 or whatever it might end up taking. I think we're at least a year at this point. We'll see what happens here. Create your own body slam and pile drive and headbutt and clothesline and fight to the finish with FC Toys bone-crushing wrestlers. Each figure features lifelike detail and bone-crushing abilities. And for even more fun, display your figures on your favorite shelf alongside your action figures from the past and the present. Of course, we will compare this to some of the other old-school bone crunchers and the Blue Meanie in this very video. I do want to call this out, too. I guess I got it right here. We talked about it in our Blue Meanie video as well. We do got the stickers here. These FC Toys, they look like KB Toy stickers. So if you're a mint on card guy, you could put this on there, kind of give you that effect of the old KB 3 for $10 thing. And then, of course, you do get a card with him. We will read this card, see what it says about old Bryan Clark here. Always like little throw-ins like this as well. 6'6", 290 pounds, hometown, 3 Mile Island. Don't recommend headed to 3 Mile Island. Stay away from there. Finishing move, the meltdown. Bryan Clark exploded onto the scene in the early 1990s, leaving a devastating path of destruction in his wake. Unmatched strength and agility made him a real force to be reckoned with. Rumor has it that one of Clark's rubber missiles is still in orbit to this very day. Who knew? Who knew? And, of course, Atom Bomb was a big, big deal. I don't know if the Atom Bomb gimmick was the best gimmick, but it was a time when everybody had gimmicks, as we do now. Of course, he did go over as Wrath. He went as part of Chronic, of course, over to WCW. I think went over to, was it New Japan or All Japan? Getting my Japans mixed up. I think it was All Japan. But the tag team champions over there as well with Crush. A guy that could have been a much bigger star, I think, than he actually was. A really good guy. It seems like he's on social media, very friendly and stuff. I think he just kind of missed the boat. And maybe if he was just a year or two back or forward, he could have been an even bigger superstar. But most wrestling fans do know the name Atom Bomb, so he did do something right, I will say that. But without further ado, let's get him out of the package. And once again, very, very good packaging here. Very hard to break packaging. Just fabulous packaging job on these. As far as these other companies, the Cellas, all these kind of things, this is one of the best packaged figures ever. It's very good. Very nice, tough cardboard on this. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic prison style. There he is, looking good. I believe the goggles are removable as well. That's a nice extra attention to detail as well. See you later up high. Goodbye. There it goes. And we got Bryan Clark. I might call him Adam Bomb, so forgive me, but Bryan Clark looking really good. Articulation going to be the same as all the Bone Crushers or Bone Crunchers. Arms go all the way around. Legs go up. Legs go back. Waist articulation. Head articulation. And that's all she wrote. That's all you needed. And I still say to this day, I think I probably said it in the Blue Meanie unboxing, the Bone Crunchers were my favorite playability figures ever. I loved playing with the Hasbros, Galoobs, LJNs as a little kid. Right at the very, very end of my playing days, the Bone Crunchers just felt so good in hand, played so well. So to me, still to this day, cheaper figures, but just fabulously. I mean, it took the size of Hasbro, shrunk down the LJNs with a little bit of that feel. It was really the best of everything we'd had up to that point. And you'll never change my mind on that. But looking good on the designs. Of course, you got the 3 Mile Island look in there going on, the like atomic symbols all over. You got the bomb on the singlet there looking good. The black elbow pads, black wrist tape, black finger tape as well. This is the black boots. Looking nice. It has that Bone Cruncher feel, that nice kind of plastic that you can move around. Of course, you do got the bendability and the breaking noise there. You can hear it right here, hopefully. You can hear that snapping, and like I said, that will not be included in future ones, which makes sense, I think, at this point. He's got 2 open hands on him, looking really good. Interesting glasses on him. You got the yellow glasses. Pull them right off, and man, all day long, though, this looks like Bryan Clark. There's no doubt who this is, that black hair and that face. Love the glasses here. Got the yellow color with the black kind of goggles. Looking really good. You can have them over his face. You can have them totally off him. You can have them up in his hair. I think I'm going to display one with them on, and then the other one, the variant maybe, with them off. We'll see what happens with that. But boy, it looks good. It feels good. Does not have a smell to it, and I can barely smell anyways. But just a very, very nice representation of Bryan Clark. And this line went to one of those things, hey, I'm going to just order it, I'm going to check it out, to, man, I think I'm going to be a completionist on this line. I still got to figure out how I'm going to display them. I'll probably put them with my Bone Crunchers. I think that makes the most sense. But I really do like this. This does have a great nostalgia feel. And I think if this would have been, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago when Bone Cruncher Madness was really at its height, people were really going back on this line. If this line came out then, I think it'll do well as is, but it would have done even better. And I think there would have been a lot more nostalgia for this line a couple of years ago. But there is still nostalgia right now, and I think they're selling fairly well, if you ask me. But a very, very good-looking figure here. Definitely beats my expectations. When I saw this body style on him, I immediately went to Kane. It reminded me of the Kane figure, especially with the open hands and stuff. So you can see that. And you know what? Bryan Clark, a big dude at 6'6", 6'7". He's right up there with Kane. So I think this does work for me. I like what I see. I like what I see right here. He does not have a peg hole on the bottom. I forgot to mention that. But looking really good. Uh-oh, Kane taking a header, almost falling off the table. But looking really good, and it definitely has the vibe and the feel of the old school ones. I really do like that aspect, and Kane's not going to stand for him. He's just not going to do it. But then, of course, you got the Blue Meanie here. You got him side by side with Blue Meanie. Now, obviously, Bryan Clark should be way taller, but he does have a bend at his knee, but so does Blue Meanie. So scaling not totally in sync here, but let's be honest, the Bone Crunchers weren't totally scaled in sync either. So really, what this is doing is an homage to that line. It works for me. It looks beautiful. And this Bryan Clark, I really, really do like. Now, between which ones I was bigger fans of, I'm going to go Blue Meanie because I love the BWO back in the day. So I'm excited for the variant version of him. And the variant of Bryan Clark's can be an interesting one as well, as it's one I'm really not familiar with. So we'll talk about that one in that video. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, go back, check out the old Blue Meanie video as well on the channel. So there it is. That's Bryan Clark, a.k.a. Adam Bomb from the Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1. A very good figure. Highly recommended. If Bone Crunchers are your thing, there's no doubt in my mind you need this in your collection. Very cool. And one of these lines here that really did beat expectations. It blew away the expectations. You can't ask for much more than that in a toy line. So very excited to see where this line goes in the future. I'll be keeping my eye on it. Of course, we'll talk about it in the Toy News of the Week when there's things to report. So stay tuned for that. But don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Leave me a comment with your thoughts on this one down below. You picking this up, you passing, you playing the long game, you playing the no game, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, of course, Patreon channel, you get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, early content, you name it, and best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and then don't forget social media, SirPaul64, Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Bryan Clark, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.